So, hi class, good day. Welcome to continuation of discussion in basic accounting all about accounting cycle step 5, prepare adjusting entries. Game? Game. So, today we will apply the adjusting items discussed in previously videos uploaded, no? For the previous accounting tutorials related to adjusting items. Now, we will do the application by using, of course, our illustrative problem, Pag-ong Delivery Express. Okay? So, ito yung problem na yon. Okay? So, dito sa problem, this time, may additional information siya. Ito nga yung mga data for adjustments. Okay? So, if you watch the videos, tutorial videos related to adjusting entries, no? Ginawan natin ng mnemonics yung mga adjusting items. Tama? And we call it as BIDAPAD. Okay? BIDAPAD. So, B stands for bad debts, D stands for depreciation, A stands for accrued expense, P stands for prepaid expense, A again for accrued income, and D again for deferred income. So again, what's our adjusting items? Very good. BIDAPAD. Okay? Now, let's go directly with the preparing the requirement, which is prepare adjusting entries for this additional data. Okay? So, for number 1, sabi, a provision of doubtful accounts equal to 5% of outstanding accounts receivable is deemed reasonable. So, if you remember, our pro forma entry to record doubtful accounts or what we call bad debts, no? Debit bad debts, expense, and credit allowance for bad debts. That's our pro forma. Okay? Pero take note na this illustrative problem has its own chart of accounts. So, kailangan natin i-check kung ano yung appropriate na account title na dapat gamitin. And for checking dito sa chart of accounts ng problem, wala tayong makikitang bad debts expense. Okay? For these expenses, wala kang makikitang bad debts expense. Pero, merong doubtful accounts expense. So, ito yung gagamitin natin. Okay? Instead of bad debts expense. Parehas lang naman din yung ano niyan, ang gamit niyan. Okay? So, doubtful accounts expense, ang gagamitin natin as debit. Tama? And of course, ang credit natin, yun. Allowance for doubtful accounts. Okay? So, yan yung gagamitin natin. Pero, ang next na, dapat nating sagutan, magkano yung provision na sinasabi natin? Ang alam natin, it is 5% of the outstanding accounts receivable. So, 5% of accounts receivable. Magkano ba ang accounts receivable natin? Let's check. Okay? Puntahan natin yung general ledger. Check natin magkano yung balance ng accounts receivable as of. Okay? So, as you can see, no? Okay, punta tayo. Yan. Ito yung general ledger ng illustrative problem na nagawa na natin previously per our previous videos uploaded in YouTube, no? So, check lang natin. Yun. Accounts receivable. Ito siya. 47,000. And 5% of that, sabi, ay doubtful accounts. Okay? So, whatever is the amount, yun yung gagamitin natin in recording the adjusting entry. Okay? So, Let's answer. Pero compute muna natin. Okay. So, gawa lang tayo ng yan. So, sabi, accounts receivable ay 47,000. Okay. So, palakayan lang natin ng unti. Sabi, out of that, 5% ay doubtful to be collected. So, lagay natin, 5%. Okay? I-multiply lang natin yan, of course, para makuha natin yung doubtful accounts. So, that will be doubtful accounts. 47,000 times 5%, that will give us yun, 2,350 as our doubtful accounts. Okay? So, yan yung magiging basis natin in recording the adjusting entry for this item. Okay? So, balik tayo doon sa general journal. So, we will record it by debiting doubtful accounts expense per chart of accounts amounting to 2,350 and credit allowance for doubtful accounts amounting also to 2,350. Explanation: to record 5% of accounts receivable as doubtful accounts. Okay? So, okay na tayo dito for number 1. Okay? We're done with that. Next problem ay yung item 2 and item 3. Pagsabay na natin, no? Pero syempre, mauna ng onte yung number 2. Excuse me. At pagdating sa item number 2 and number 3, anong adjusting item ang tinutukoy natin dyan? Under our BIDAPAD. If you remember. Okay. That's correct. Depreciation. Tama? So, item 2 and item 3, depreciation, yung adjusting item na tinutukoy natin dyan. Okay? Now, to compute the depreciation, no? Ano nga ulit ang formula natin? So, we have a formula that goes like this. Depreciation per year is equal to is equals to cost, tama, minus salvage value. Okay? Yan. Over useful life. Over useful life in years. Okay? So, that's how we get depreciation per year. Okay? Now, to compute for item number 2, saan na yun? Yan. To compute for item number 2, we have useful life na 10 years. Okay tayo dyan. May salvage value bang sinabi? Wala. Okay? So, ang next na kailangan natin malaman, magkano ba ang cost ng delivery equipment? Okay? Kung titignan natin yung problem, no? Based dun sa problem, eto yan eh. And 3 motorcycles amounting to 300,000. So, ito yung tinutukoy natin cost for delivery equipment. Okay? Kung babalikan natin yung problem. Pero, other way of getting the cost, punta tayo dun sa ledger account niya, yung delivery equipment niyan. Okay? As an alternative, okay? Punta tayo, nasaan yan? Delivery equipment. Ayun, 300,000. So, yan yung magiging cost natin. Okay? So, balik tayo doon. So, to determine the depreciation per year of the delivery equipment, we have formula na 300,000 as its cost. Tama po? Sulit lang muna natin eh. So, 300,000 as cost minus salvage value na wala. Wala namang kasi sinabi. Over its useful life na magkano daw or na ilan daw? 10 years. Okay, 10 years. Susulat na rin. 10 years. Okay? And 300,000 minus 0 is 300,000 divided by 10. That will give you an answer of 30,000 as the depreciation niya per year. Okay? Pero, take note class, na yung sa problem, okay, this is the depreciation per year, 30,000. Pero dun sa problem, okay, ang kailangan nating ma-determine is the depreciation for the month of January. So, ibig sabihin, isang buwan lang. Okay? Ang ina-adjust lang kasi natin ngayon is ending January. So, 1 month period lang. Okay? So, yung 30,000 na yan, kailangan natin i-divide pa per month. Divide pa natin ng 12 months to get the monthly depreciation of this specific equipment, which is delivery equipment. So, divide natin. Okay? We got the depreciation per year, pero hindi yan ang kailangan natin. Ang kailangan natin kasi, yung depreciation for the month of January. And that is equal to 1 month only. So, kailangan natin i-divide tong 30,000 into 12 months. Tama po? Para makuha natin yung depreciation niya per month. So, 12 months. So, ulitan natin to per month. Okay? And that will give you an answer of 30,000 divided by 12. Okay, correct. 2,500. At yan ang magiging depreciation natin for delivery equipment ending January 31. Okay, so i-record natin yan in our general journal. Okay. We know already the amount, 2,500, but we don't know the actual account title to be used. Okay, since ulitin natin, may chart of accounts tong illustrative problem natin, doon tayo magbe-base kung anong proper account title ang dapat na gamitin. Okay? And alam naman natin, basically, no, ang pro forma entry to record depreciation is debit depreciation expense and credit accumulated depreciation. Pero pwede magbago yan. Depende dun sa binigay na account title sa chart of accounts. So, hanapin lang muna natin yung depreciation na expense account na gagamitin natin for delivery equipment. So, depreciation, expense, furniture, hindi yan. Depreciation, office equipment, hindi yan. So, eto, depreciation, delivery equipment. Kaya lang, may word siyang direct charges sa unahan. Okay? And that is true. No, depreciation expense for delivery equipment for this illustrative problem, direct charges yan. As explained in our previous tutorial videos, kung napanood nyo yun. Okay? So, no need to explain kung bakit direct charges yung treatment niya for this video. Kasi tapos na tayo dyan. Okay? So, ito yung magiging debit natin. Direct charges, depreciation, delivery equipment. Okay? Ano ang credit na gagamitin? Anong account title ang gagamitin for credit? Ito. Siyempre, accumulated depreciation, delivery equipment. Okay? So, record na natin. On January 31, to record the depreciation of delivery equipment, we debit direct charges, depreciation, delivery equipment, 2,500. That's debit. And credit, accumulated depreciation, delivery equipment, 2,500. Explanation, of course, to record depreciation for delivery equipment for the month. Okay? So, okay tayo dyan. So, next, for item number 3, sabi natin, depreciation ulit yan. Pero this time, ang kukumpitin natin is for furniture, depreciation for furniture, and depreciation for office equipment. Okay? So, pagsabay na natin. Okay? So, ito yan. So, again, ito ang formula natin. No? Delete lang natin itong mga data na to. Mamaya, palitan na lang natin. So, unahin muna natin yung furniture. Okay? And magkano ang cost ng furniture? Okay? Okay, sinabi lang niya dito sa additional information na yung furniture, 3 years yung useful life. Okay, so noted yan. And wala ulit salvage value. Pero ang next na tanong, magkano ba yung cost ng furniture? If we will look on the previous transaction, no? Andito yan. Sana yun? Furniture. Nasaan na yun? Ito. Bought tables and chairs and lateral cabinets for 36,000. So, yan yung cost ng furniture natin. Pero to be sure, punta tayo sa general ledger. And i-check natin yung furniture. Ito nga. Furniture. Amounting to 36,000. So, yan yung cost na gagamitin natin. Okay? Yan yung cost na gagamitin natin for furniture. So, balik tayo dun sa formula. So, for depreciation of furniture, we have cost na 36,000. With no salvage value. So, 0 ulit yan. Divided by ilang years daw? 3 years per given additional info. And 36,000 minus 0 is 36,000. Divided by 3 years or divided by 3 is 12,000. So, depreciation for furniture per year is 12,000. Now, ito ulit ang dapat natin tandaan na ang kinukompute nating depreciation is for the month of January lang. So, kailangan natin makompute yung per month, hindi yung per year. So, to get that, we have 12,000 divided by 12 months, and depreciation per month of furniture will be 1,000. Okay? So, let's see. Yung account title, okay tayo sa amount. Yung account title na lang i-check natin. Pero, kung nakita natin yung kanina, mukhang alam na natin kung ano yung dapat natin gamitin. So, ito siya. Depreciation, expense, furniture. Okay, ito. Yan. And accumulated depreciation, furniture. Ito. Yan. Okay. So, ang debit natin, of course, debit, depreciation expense, furniture, amounting to 1,000. And credit, accumulated depreciation for furniture, 1,000. Okay? Explanation to record depreciation for furnitures for the month. So, okay tayo dyan. Po. So, next we have to compute the depreciation for office equipment naman, class. Okay, tandaan natin yung mga given. We have 5 years na useful life and yun, meron na siya salvage value this time, which is amounting to 8,000. Now, ang susunod nating alamin, magkano ang cost niyan? Per problem, hanapin natin yon dun sa transaction. Okay? So, ito. Both computer and printers for 74,000 on account from office warehouse. So, malamang ito yon. Pero let's see, based dun sa general ledger, dun sa ledger ng office equipment. Ayun. 74,000 as of the moment. So, yan yung magiging cost natin. So, balikan natin yung formula to compute the depreciation. Okay? So, palitan natin to. Ang cost ng depreciation, ang cost ng office equipment natin is amounting to 74,000. Okay? Excuse me. Okay? Ang salvage value niya, magkano nga ulit? Based dun sa problem, if you remember. Okay, ito yon. Balikan lang natin. Ayun, salvage value niya, 8,000. So, meron siya this time. Okay? So, isulat lang natin. So, 74,000 minus 8,000 to. Tama? At ang useful life niya in years, sabi doon kanina, 5 years. Okay? Ito. Yan, 5 years. Okay? So, sulat natin. So, 5 years. Okay. 74,000 minus 8,000. What will be our answer for that? Okay. We have 66,000. Tama ba? Susulat muna natin. We have 66,000. Mag-additional info tayo dito. Okay, so 74,000 minus 8,000, we have 66,000. Tama po? And 66,000 divided by 5 years. So, magkano yun? Magkano yun? Okay. So, 66,000 divided by 5 years, we have 13,200. 13,200 per year. Okay? Now, if we will use the formula, of course, 66,000 divide mo sa 5 years. Yan, 13,200. Okay? So, depreciation per year for office equipment, 13,200. But that is not the amount we need to record in our adjusting entry. Kasi nga, ulitin natin, ang kailangan nating ilagay na amount is good for January only. So, for 1 month lang. Okay? So, again, i-divide natin per 12 months. So, 13,200 divided by 12 months, you got 1,100. So, yan yung magiging basehan natin ng amount. Okay? So, for account title, obvious naman na nakita na natin yon. Tama? For expense account, ang gagamitin natin for that, depreciation expense, office equipment. Okay? Okay? And for credit, ito. Yan. Accumulated depreciation office equipment. So, record natin. So, debit, depreciation expense, office equipment, 1,100. And credit, accumulated depreciation, office equipment. Explanation, to record depreciation for office equipment for the month. So, okay tayo dyan. Okay po. Okay. Next requirement, number 4. Okay? Office supplies is still on hand, 2,000. Okay? Under B, the pad, no? Yung mnemonics natin for adjusting item. Ano siya doon? Very good. Prepaid expense. Office supplies is a good example of prepaid expense. So, prepaid expense yan. Now, take note, pag prepaid expense, palaging may dalawang method. Okay? dalawang method yan. We have asset method and expense method. Okay? We should know the original entry made for this item. Excuse me. Okay? Para malaman natin kung na-record ba siya originally as asset or expense. And from that, dun tayo magbabase kung ano magiging adjusting entry natin. Okay? So, pero dito pa lang may clue na tayo kasi sinabi niya na office supplies. And office supplies, that phrase tells us na ni-record yan as asset. Okay? Now, kung gusto natin ma-assure kung recorded nga as asset yan, okay, check natin dun sa entry. Okay? So, check lang natin, Related yan sa anong transaction class? Ayun, January 7. Okay, bumili ng office supplies. So, from the phrase pa lang na office supplies, that phrase is applicable for an asset account. So, automatic asset yan. Okay, pero depende nga kung paano ni-record. And we have already discussed this. And obviously, we record this as an asset. Okay? Ayan, kung papansin nyo, office supply siya. Okay? Kaya nga, pagdating dun sa unadjusted trial balance natin, nasan ba yun? Okay, ito, unadjusted trial balance natin. Okay? Wala pa tayong makikitang supplies expense dyan. Okay? Kasi, di naman ni-record yung office supplies as supplies expense or as expense. Ni-record siya as asset. Ito siya. Okay? So, okay tayo dyan. Okay? Now, going back dun sa problem, baba tayo. Okay? So, alam na natin na asset method ang ginamit. So, ang tanong na lang, ano ang dapat na magiging adjusting entry natin? Okay? Okay? Now, baba ko lang to. Yan. So, asset method, pro forma dyan, if you will remember, debit. Babalik na rin natin kung asset method, dapat ang debit natin instead asset, expense. So, debit, supplies expense, credit, office supplies. So, ang pro forma dyan, palagi, since asset method dyan, ang debit mo expense. And then, ang credit mo, yung prepaid expense. So, to be specific, under this problem, debit, supplies expense tayo, credit, office, supplies. Okay. Ngayon, anong amount ang ilalagay natin? Since dinebit natin yung supplies expense, we are referring na yung expense tumaas. Kasi naka-debit, di ba? Alam natin na ang expense pag na-debit, tumataas. So, sinasabi natin na ito yung expense. Okay? So, ang ilalagay mo dyan na amount is referring to the amount of the expense. Correct? And, per our problem, yung office supplies is still on hand is 2,000. Magkano daw natin nabili yun? Okay, puntahan natin in general ledger. Magkano ba yun? Or pwede rin yung unadjusted trial balance. Okay? Ito, 5,000 natin binili yan. Okay? Pero ang natitira na lang daw is 2,000. Tama po? So, ibig sabihin, nagastos na natin yung 3,000. And the 3,000 is the amount to be recorded in our adjusting entry. Okay? Ang sabi natin kanina, debit, supplies expense, 3,000. Kasi nga, expense na yung 3,000. Out of the 5,000, 2,000 na lang natitira. So, 3,000, expense na. So, debit, supplies expense, 3,000. And credit, office supplies, 3,000. Babawasan na natin yung office supplies accounts natin ng 3,000 to make it 2,000. Para balance tayo dito. Okay? Na maging 2,000 na lang siya. Dati, na may 5,000 tayo na recording, ito, pababawasan niya ng 3,000 kasi nga nagastos na. Ang matitira na lang dyan, 2,000. At magmamatch tayo dito sa sinasabi niyang information. Okay? Anong method to? Asset method. Okay? Now, ang gusto ko na lang i-confirm kung anong account title ang dapat gamitin. So, ayun. tama naman tayo, supplies expense, and definitely, office supplies yan. Okay, yan, office supplies. Okay? So, going back dun sa general journal, to record the adjusting entry for item 4, office supplies, is still on hand, 2,000. Again, asset method to. So, ang debit natin dapat expense. Debit, supplies expense, 3,000, which is the amount of the consume amount of the supplies. And credit, office supplies, syempre, babawasan na natin, 3,000. Explanation, to record supplies use. Okay? O simpleng, ano lang yan, analysis. Okay? Next, Panda Food acknowledged the delivery service provided by the business for the month as contracted on January 3, 2020. Okay? January 3, 2020. Balikan natin yun. Nasaan yun? Ito. January 3. 3 ba yun? Ito. Sign a delivery service contract with Panda Food Incorporated. Panda Food made advance payments of 45,000 for 3 months. Okay? So, si business daw, si Pag-ong Delivery Express, naka-receive ng 45,000 in advance. Tama po? Para sa 3 buwan. January 3 nangyari yon. So, this time, ending January, malamang meron ng na-render na service si Pag-ong Delivery Express. Kanino? Kay Panda Food. And that is why, yung in-advance ng 45,000, dapat mabawasan yun. Utang yun sa side niya. Pero this time nga, since ending January na, malamang may na-provide na siya, may na-provide na service si Pag-ong Delivery Express. And it is proper for the business, for Pag-ong, to recognize revenue. Okay? Now, dun sa adjusting item natin, yung mnemonics, yung Bidapad, ano siya doon? Very good. Ito ay magfo-fall down under deferred income. Okay? Now, ang tanong dyan, magkano yung amount na ilalagay mo? Okay? Pero bago muna yon, ano bang method ang dapat natin gamitin for the adjusting entry of this number 5? So, tandaan natin, like prepaid expense, dalawang method din ng deferred income. We have liability method and income method. So, nasabi ko na kanina kung paano ni-record to ni Panda Food. Kasi nga, we have journalized this per our previous tutorials. Tama ba? So, related yan sa January 3. Nasaan na yun? Ayun. Cash on hand, nag-debit tayo ng 45,000, then nag-credit tayo ng unearned service revenue. And unearned service revenue is a liability account. So, therefore, liability method ang gagamitin natin in adjusting this item. Okay? Kung liability method yan, babalik ta rin natin. Okay? Our pro forma entry will be, instead na ang credit mo liability, ang credit mo income. Kasi liability method tayo. Liability method, baliktad dapat. Okay? Instead na ang credit mo liability, ang credit mo income. Pagdating sa adjusting entry. So, debit ka, liability, which is an earned service revenue, and ang credit mo, service revenue. Okay? So, ang tanong na lang, anong amount ang ilalagay natin? Okay. Pakita lang natin, Dito sa problem, ang sabi, yung unearned service revenue ay 45,000. Tama? Nung nakakolekta in advance last January 3. Okay, 3 months yan. Good for 3 months. 3 months contract. Tama? So, kung good for 3 month 3 months contract yan, kada month, magkano yung ma-earn niyang revenue? 15,000 kada month. Tama po? Kasi 45,000 divided by 3 months, that will give you 15,000 per month. Okay? So, 15,000 ang mare-recognize na revenue ng Pag-ong Delivery Expense. Okay? Kada buwan. As soon as the business deliver its service. Okay? End of January na. So, malamang nakaisang buwan ng rendering of service. Itong si Pag-ong kay Panda Food. Okay? So, out of the 45,000, 15,000 dyan, ending January 31, no, is income na. Okay? Now, ang recording natin, sabi natin, pagdating sa adjusting entry, since liability method ang gagamitin, ang debit natin liability, so ang credit natin kabaliktaran, income. And when we credit income, that means na pinapataas natin yung income. Magkano bang income na na-recognize natin for ending January? 15,000. So the amount to be recorded is 15,000. Okay? So debit unearned service revenue ka dyan, 15,000, and credit service revenue ka dyan, 15,000. Okay? Obviously, sa chart of accounts, may unearned service revenue. Okay? Ang problema na lang natin, kung may service revenue ba? May service revenue ba? Yes. Okay, kahit di na natin tignan kasi nasagutan na natin to previously. Ayan. Okay? Unearned service revenue, ayan. Ay, sorry. Ito. Okay? So, to record the adjustment for item number 5. Debit. Unearned service revenue, 15,000. Credit. Ay, kikredit natin income kasi liability method, kabaliktaran. Okay? 15,000. Credit service revenue. Explanation to record adjustment for earned service. Okay? Okay tayo dyan. Next, ito. Item number 6. So, more on analysis na naman to. Okay? Under our BIDAPAD, no? Ito ay adjusting item related sa adjusting item related sa accrued expense. Okay? Na-incur na natin expense pero hindi pa natin nababayaran. Salaries accrued amounting to 2,000. And our pro forma entry for that is debit expense, credit, accrued expense. So, obviously, alam naman natin na ang debit natin dyan, salaries expense, and ang credit natin dyan, payable. Pero anong specific account title na payable? Tingnan natin sa chart of accounts. So, okay tayo sa debit, salaries expense daw, and ang credit, liability account, which is salaries payable. So, yan ang gagamitin natin. So, simplihan lang natin. Debit, salaries expense, 2,000, and credit, salaries payable, 2,000. Ganun lang simple. Explanation, to record accrual of salaries expense. Okay? Next, number 7, interest accrued at the end of the month on the received note from Mr. Utang last January 16, 2020. Okay? Ito yon. Balikan natin, January 16, 2020. Ito siya. Rendered delivery service to Mr. Utang in the amount of 16,000. Mr. Utang wrote a promissory note to pay the business within 60 days at 12% interest. Okay? So, yan yung related transaction yan. 16,000 pala yung pagkakautang ni Mr. Utang sa business. and may 12% na interest na patong. Okay? Starting yan from January 16. Now, ang tanong, paano nga ulit compute ng interest? Here's our formula. So, our formula to get interest is this. Okay? We have interest is equal to principal. Tama ba? Times rate times time. Okay? Now, to solve this, let's put all the necessary information. So, alam natin na ang principal amount is 16,000. Tama po? Yan yung pagkakautang ni Mr. Utang kay business, kay Pagong Delivery Express. At alam natin na ang rate ay 12%. Tama? 12%. Ngayon, ang tanong, ano tong time na ilalagay natin? Okay? Okay. Kailan nagbigay ng notes receivable si Mr. Utang? Okay, based dun sa problem, January 16. Okay? And take note, ang requirement kasi is pinapagawa tayo ng adjusting entry for this. And kailan yung adjusting entry, o kailan yung araw na kailangan natin i-record yung adjusting entry? January 31. Tama? So, to record the accrual of interest, by the way, this number 7 related to sa adjusting item na tinatawag nating accrued income. Income kasi tayo yung business yung may receivable. In effect, siya yung may interest income afterwards once na nagbayad to si Mr. Utang sa kanya. Okay? So, accrued income item yan. So, balik lang ako dun sa kaninang sinabi ko. From January 16, mag-a-adjust lang tayo, no? Or mag-a-accrue lang tayo up to January 31. Kasi yun lang yung kailangan nating iset for the month of January. Okay? Yun lang naman kasi pinapa-adjust sa atin. Prepare adjusting entries for January. And that will run from January 16 up to January 31 only. So, with regards dun sa time, yun ang kukunin nating days. Okay? So, from 16 to 31, ilang days lang yun? 15 days. Tama? 16, January 16 plus 15, you have January 31. So, 15 days lang yung kailangan nating pagbasihan para dun sa gagawin nating accrual ng interest income or ng interest receivable. Okay? So, you have 15 days over, since yung rate na to kasi, itong 12% na rate na to class, automatic, parang sinasabi natin good for 1 year. Hindi naman tatakbo ng 1 year tong receivable. Actually, good for 60 days, di ba? Dun sa problem, ito, may sinabi yan Babayaran daw siya, yung business, within 60 days. Saan yun? Ayan. Notes to pay the business within 60 days. Okay? Sir, bakit hindi 60 days ang ginamit natin dito? Bakit 15 days? Ulitin ko, kasi yung dapat na accrual na gawin natin is starting only from January 16 up to January 31. Kasi nga, hanggang doon lang yung cut-off natin to record the adjustment. Ending January 31. Hindi naman ang requirement is to compute the whole interest for the notes receivable. Ang requirement, magkano yung accrue nating interest up to January 31 or up to adjusting period. Okay? So we have, what will be the answer? 16,000 times 12% times 15. You will get 80 pesos. Tama ba? Yan ba ang lalabas? 16,000 times 12% times 15 times over 360. 80 pesos. Yan ang lalabas na amount na ilalagay natin as accrued interest. Okay po? So, ang tanong na susunod is ano ba yung mga account titles na dapat gamitin. Based dito sa Based dito sa chart of accounts, meron tayong yun. Interest receivable. So, yan ang debit natin. And meron tayong interest income dapat. Yun, credit. Yan ang i-credit natin, interest income. So, to record. Okay? To record the adjusting entry for item 7, debit, interest receivable, 80 pesos, and credit, interest income, 80 pesos. Explanation, to record accrual of interest income. Okay? Ending January 31. Okay? So, okay tayo dyan. Last, adjusting item refers to interest accrued on loans from BDO for January. Okay? So, mag-a-accrue tayo ng interest expense niyan kasi this time, si business ang nangutang. Kanino? Kay BDO. Related dyan sa January 1 transaction ito. Okay? So, again, to compute the interest expense this time, okay? Definitely, may payable yan. Okay? So, kahit pa paano, by this time, alam mo na yung mga account titles na gagamitin. But, mamaya, check natin kung yan ba yung dapat. Okay? So, again, to compute, pagbasehin natin to, yung principal, 500,000, yung rate, 12% din. Okay? Due yan in 2 years. Pero hindi yan ang magiging basehan natin. Kasi ang basehan natin to compute the interest is hanggang kailan yung cut-off period natin related dito sa ginagawa nating adjustment. And that is good for up to January 31 only. 1 month lang. Tama? So, let's compute. So, ito yon. Copyin lang natin. Again. So, meron tayong 500,000 as the principal amount. Tama po? Times 12%. Times 1 month lang. And 1 month is 30 days. 1 month lang, ulitin natin kasi nga, ito ay good for January only. So, 1 month or 30 days. And the answer will be, magkano lalabas dyan? 500,000 times 12% times 30 times over 360. You will arrive to amount of 5,000. So, yan ang magiging amount na basehan natin to record the accrued interest. Okay, this time, itong adjusting item na to, accrued expense ulit. Okay? So, balik lang tayo sa general journal and dun sa problem. Now, dito, to be sure, ang gagawin natin, check natin sa chart of accounts. So, we have interest expense as debit. Okay, meron. Tali tayo dyan. And interest payable as credit. Nasa na yun? Ayun. Okay, so okay tayo dyan. So, yan ang gagamitin. And to write it down, debit, interest expense, 5,000. And credit, interest payable, 5,000. Explanation, to record accrual of interest expense. And we're done with the adjusting entries.